We are actually only a few episodes in to Marvel's What If animated series, so I'm going to take a pretty big gamble with this latest theory. Marvel's What If is actually key to the events of Avengers 5. Hi, I'm Grant Davis with MCU Pod, and with the birth of the multiverse in the MCU, thanks to the vengeful convictions of Sylvie in the Loki finale, we now have an opportunity to get a glimpse into the wide array of variations available in the MCU multiverse timeline. That is, provided they occur within this itty-bitty sliver of time between the late 20th and early 21st centuries. And with these fantastical variations on these beloved superheroes of ours, we can imagine these whole new worlds where Tony Stark isn't the one who actually creates the Iron Man suit, where Peggy Carter is displaced in time, where T'Challa brings peace and harmony throughout the galaxy, and Peter Quill takes his place at the right hand of his father on a quest to dominate the galaxy. The What If Marvel series existed first as a comic book, started in 1977, and its real purpose was to explore this kind of open-ended creative exercise on alternate takes on this rich world that Marvel had already developed. These narrative threads tended to do nothing more than offer up open-ended questions on how another world might look, but would not really continue the further exploration of these worlds, making their existence serve little purpose beyond the simple question of, what if? But this isn't simply the days of disposable Marvel one-off storylines. This is Marvel we're talking about, or maybe more importantly, Disney we're talking about here. And Disney is not in the business of making these one-off stories that don't really ultimately tie into their larger endgame. So if they are telling these one-off tales of what if in the MCU multiverse, how might these stories play into the larger picture of the MCU? Speaking of Endgame, let's take a look back at the climax of that film, arguably one of the absolute biggest climaxes in cinematic history, as evidenced by this crowd reaction. After building up to a scene that somehow managed to pull in the characters established in 10 separate Marvel film franchises in a truly epic battle, how do you top that? What are you going to do? Let's go ahead and chart the progress of the Avengers films thus far. Avengers 1 saw our core team come together for a fight that wreaked havoc in Manhattan. Ultron took it to a new level, taking the entire city of Sokovia airborne during the battle, and we took on a few more Avengers to help in the fight. Infinity War scaled it up even more so, having the battle be waged across space, and having an even larger crew band together in Wakanda. And then of course there's Endgame, the ultimate culmination of all MCU has built thus far. So yeah, how can you build upon that? Well, I think we're getting the answer right now with What If. So rumor has it that King the Conqueror will be the next big bad of Avengers 5. If He Who Remains is to be believed, then King was able to control and conquer the various iterations of the multiverse time stream. And with He Who Remains being removed from control of the TVA at the end of Loki, that sequence of events seems destined to occur. We're on the path to the next multiverse war. With King stirring up trouble in multiple universes, it stands to reason that he's not just going to be challenged by our MCU heroes, but he's going to be challenged by heroes from across these different iterations of the MCU multiverse. And whether we see this depicted as separate battles happening in all these different multiverses, or if portals are going to open up, similar to Doctor Strange's portals at the end of Endgame, where they're all going to come to one point and fight and wage war against all the King the Conquerors, I think that we're going to see something play out where all these what-if characters actually factor in as viable threats. So imagine this. Instead of the portals opening up and us getting Black Panther and Falcon and the Guardians at the end of Endgame, what if portals open up and instead we see Captain Carter fighting alongside Sam Wilson's Captain America, Ironheart, War Machine, and Rescue alongside skinny Steve Rogers' Hydra Stomper, both Quill and T'Challa's Star-Lords, a more peaceful Thanos, a squad of Lokis, a few Quicksilvers, all the Spideys, this Daredevil, that Blade, maybe even this Nick Fury, and even a horde of Marvel zombies unleashed on Kang and his army. All of these warriors taking on Kang across the multiverse and making Endgame seem like this small little battle in upstate New York. Because why not? It tracks that the next logical step in escalating this battle is allowing us to see multiple iterations of our favorite heroes band together side by side to take down this villain across the multiverse. All those concept art pieces for different takes on our heroes, and all the different actors who could cameo as alternate versions of our heroes can all get their chance to shine in a battle even grander than that of Endgame. And these what if episodes won't be these one offs and creative exercises, but will actually be pieces of a puzzle that is building up to Avengers 5. But of course, this is just a theory. I mean, we're only 2 episodes into What If, and I could be way off base. So let me know what you think. Fire down in the comments right below here, and let us know what your thoughts are on what If is, and if it is playing into the larger picture of the MCU, or if it's just fun little episodes on pondering how things could have gone differently in the Marvel Universe.